Welcome back to the InherAlchemist TV. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Derrick and is it Jaxn or Denasia Jaxn? As we know, they kind of taken like the social media scene by storm. When it came out that he was allegedly cheating on her, I ain't see him slinging no dick, so I'm not finna say that's what he was doing. However, it's pretty well known fact, right? We all know what's going on. And I think what made it so scandalous was that he is a relationship and dating coach or specialist. And so it was giving like hypocrite energy. I mean, I don't know if it was hypocrite energy or not, but from my perspective, a lot of men were just like quick to jump on the train, like, see, you not special, you just like us, bruh. You spilling the game, yet you is the same person. But I think, yeah, anybody that's teaching you anything, whether it's good or bad, game or warnings, you should always assume that person has been in that position. If it's a woman who has been broken in that position, or if it's somebody who's telling you you should assume when you're dealing with a con artist that person is a con artist. It wasn't like a necessary shock to me at all, right? In any event, we're gonna take a look at them because I feel like since they're well-known split, I was getting some tension in the air, like maybe they were gonna try to get back together. Looking at my cards, I don't think that's on the table at all. I think Danae is on demon time, and I think Derrick ain't feeling it too much. So I want to take a look at Derrick and Denasia Jaxn. Go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you have your notification bells on. And if there's any celebrity readings or couples that you want to be nosy about or get all up in their business, then just go ahead and let me know down in the comment section, and listen, I'll be happy to do it, right? So I'm gonna start with Denasia Jaxn because right now I'm showing that they are in the middle of like a legal settlement, right? And so she started out just trying to make sure that she was getting something out of this separation, this split, or this divorce. And she wanted it to be a good settlement, a healthy settlement, but she also felt like she wanted to do the right thing and be fair and handle things just correctly. Because in her mind, if she was unfair, then she was going to have to pay the price for that from her religious or higher power perspective. And so in her mind, she was like, I just want to be fair. Even if I lose, I just want to make sure that it's fair and that it's righteous for all parties involved. That's how she started when it first started to this divorce. Now, she was also, or is also right now, I feel like it was more so back then, because right now, like I said, she's on demon time because she's turned her back on this whole fairness thing. And I think that's because Derrick is trying to be like controlling, but in a very detached way. And I'll get to that because he's not being very cooperative or working with her. I don't know if he's angry about something, but he's not being very cooperative. So she's turning her back on trying to be amicable, right? Now, when she was trying to be amicable, she called herself being like forgiving and having mercy, and I think she was just trying to honestly just front, like just have like this brand of victim mentality. And sometimes when we play the victim, we martyr ourselves, and the cost for martyring yourself can be very high. You know what I mean? So if you're a woman and you're trying to play this good role and you're trying to play into your victim narrative, you may be absolving yourself of your fair shot, and you deserve your fair shot. You know what I mean? You don't have to, being a woman, you don't have to be boxed into one form of expression. You don't have to sacrifice yourself or martyr or be civil. You should do what's in accordance with who you are as a woman. I don't believe in letting men change you no matter what they do. I don't care if they cheat on you or abuse you. I believe that you should retain the essence of who you are and give that same goodness to whoever else comes into your life. I don't think you should be jaded or guarded or protective, but I think you should be ready to cut a nigga off instantly. And I don't think you should stay to the point where a man changes you or makes you comply. And then now you're going out of your way to prove yourself to be something that you're not, because she's acting like something that she's not, right? At the time that she was trying to still really kind of let him win, she was just trying to like get the energy off of her. Like everything was unpleasant and mean, and she felt that being forgiving and merciful and amicable was the right thing to do. She felt like, I feel like she was gaslit out of having emotions about the situation and forced to be performing in a certain type of way towards the whole situation. Really, I do. Now she's turned her back on that, and she's turning into who she really is, most likely. She's on demon time right now. I have the devil card here, right next to her energy, and I'm kind of living for it. I really am. I'm not saying because she's a victim. I'm saying that because you have to integrate both your shadow and your light, and when you're not aware of your dark side, or you're not owning it, or you're not coming in contact with it, then you're gonna suffer by it. Danae is an emotionally destructive, jealous woman. She's also a person that spoils all the fun. And so now she's in this mood where Derrick seems like he's gaining traction, or he seems the least bit happy. Oh, she's raining on all that shit. Nigga, you're not going to be happy here. That's what she's saying. She's eating this nigga up. She's really trying to spoil all his fun, but it's really because she's jealous. See, she's jealous because he's coming out roses, or he's coming out looking better than he was when he was with her, when he sent her through what he sent her through, and she doesn't feel like that's something that she's willing to contend with. And so she's being like emotionally manipulative towards him, or towards the whole situation, and she's also seducing him or trying to, but he's come across as somebody that's like really not on that. You know what I mean? He's really not on that. She has tarnished her image in his eyes because he sees her as unfair. I don't know if it's because she spoke something about him that he felt was unfair and unjust, and it looks like he lost respect for her. Now, mind you, this respect or lack thereof, it could be, in my opinion, just a form of emotional manipulation, because I'm even showing that the loss of respect that he's demonstrating towards her, I'm showing that that's a whole lie. You respect it, but it's not something that you can control. And so he's, I don't know, you know, he's coming off as kind of like immature or childish, or even like just, he's trying to control something about the situation, but it could be him combating her going into her demon time. She's on demon time. Like, I'm gonna just say it that way. And I'm also showing during the marriage that she was not faithful to him. She cheated on him as well. And so maybe he felt that he shouldn't have had to carry the burden of being the bad guy in the public. You know, maybe that had something to do with it, because they were cheating on each other. She definitely cheated on him as well. Now, I'm also showing that Danae was a gold digger. I hate calling women gold diggers because, yeah, dig, baby, dig. Like, you got to get it how you live. But Danae was looking for gold when she met Derrick. She was looking for that. She was looking for herself. Danae was a hoe. Like, I'm gonna just say it like that. Like, she was like prostituting herself. You know what I mean? Very shallow. She chose Derrick for very superficial reasons. She was very self-absorbed. It was about me, my, her. That's the energy that she operated in. You know what I mean? And so her intention in meeting Derrick was not to ever lay down and be his prey. She was a man-eater. She was the aggressor. She was the one who saw him as, I don't know, maybe somebody that would be a provider or be whatever he turned out to be, right? So they're both aware of this. And I think that he has some type of resentment for allowing himself to take the fall, maybe. right? Now, on the one hand, she's turning back on that fair, amicable image, and she's looking back to the past of her ways, like when she first met Derrick. So I'm seeing it as a bit of a regression emotionally, where she's trying to be the woman who she used to be because she felt more powerful in that mode of operation, where she wasn't being the good girl, and she wasn't being the church lady, and she wasn't being virtuous. She was being in control, and she was being promiscuous. And like I said, prostitution, that's not uncommon either. I've been through that. It's kind of like a way that you empower yourself, you know what I mean? And I believe she said she went through some sexual abuse. It maybe if you go through sexual abuse, I didn't go through that, but I had, I was taught like early on, like, okay, watch yourself around men because they're dangerous. And so I grew up fearing men, but the only way I overcame that fear was when I started to take control of them. And so the more sexual power that I exercised over men, the less fear I had of them. You know what I mean? So depending on her trauma or what she's gone through, it's possible that she adopted this toxic man-eater, prostitution, gold-digging attitude towards men as her version of empowerment. And she pretended to be, this fair, just, balanced woman, whatever. And now she's going back to the other side because she's losing power. She's losing power because Derrick is gaining confidence as a man. He's not able to be emotionally controlled by her anymore. And because she is so emotionally destructive, this is a non-option for her. You know what I mean? This is a non-option for her. She needs him in his feelings. And I show that in the past, she was able to do that by being on demon time. And that's where she's trying to regress back to. I'm not going to say solely for his attention, but for his control of her. You know what I mean? And then I see that there's maybe even some kind of like bitterness from having played the nice girl role. But that was a role that she chose to play at the same time. Now, his plans, they being ruined. Any sense of happiness that he think he finna have, that shit is being intercepted. One could call it karma. You know what I mean? Because I believe that karma, you're responsible. Their karma is for what they do. Your karma is for what you do. Even if what you do is in response to what they do, you are still responsible for being who you really are. But you can also build negative karma by having resentment and not having justice for yourself and not following the first law of nature, which is self-preservation. You know what I mean? So if you're not taking good care of yourself in a relationship, you're going to get negative karma for that, even if you consider yourself a good woman. Nature is still going to apply itself. So yeah, you do have to do some reckoning at times. He's going through some karma, and his karma is playing out as this woman being just the opposite of him right now. Whereas he feels like he has the confidence to be honest, to be straightforward, to be fair. This woman is being just the opposite. She's being bitter. She's being evil. She's acting like a widow. You know what I mean? A black widow, like she want a nigga dead. And it's fucking with his plans. Now, what was he planning? I don't know. Maybe we can take a look. He was planning some type of work collaboration, but I don't even show that he wants to even work with this person. Now, his work suggestion has some toxic energy attached to it. So I don't know if there was some type of play or some type of game plan that they were developing together. He 86'd that because he seen that she was on some other shit. You know what I mean? Now, Derrick, even though he's trying to be amicable and fair, his confidence is way too intimidating because I don't show that he was actually able to assert himself in the relationship at one point. You know what I mean? Like, the nigga is like, he was like slow. You know what I mean? As far as energy, he was sluggish. He was unable to make a decision. Getting to the money wasn't even easy for him. That was a slow process. But then when it came to certain other things, he would be very brash. now I'm showing that he has the energy and the mental fortitude to actually plan his life. But it's coming at a time where somebody else is like trying to ruin your plans. So it's kind of feeling to him like an interception or like backwards motion. And there's a temptation for him to regress into being an immature male. But this is Danae, whatever her name is, energy trying to pull him back into an emotional state that she can control. So she's trying to regress the nigga by being emotionally destructive towards him or triggering him, seducing him, being like a hoe, but an emotional whore. You know what I mean? Like when you think of prostitution, you think of promiscuity, don't always think of somebody going out on a blade. You know what I mean? And selling coochie. Sometimes it's just the way you use your energy, the way you use your whole spirit. I believe in the whole spirit. I don't think that you should lose your whole spirit. I don't. You know, I think that's what keeps your marriage intact, but she's not in no marriage. You know what I mean? She's just literally attempting to take him off of his square and to exert the same type of toxic power and influence that she had over him before, but he's not there anymore. He's not. He's stronger. However, he has acted childishly recently. He has acted in a controlling way recently. He has fallen off of his fatherhood duties recently. Whatever she's doing, whatever she's causing is making him like not be a good dad to his children. You know what I mean? So he's slightly tempted by this foolishness, but I don't think that it will last for very long per se. You know what I mean? The judgment is here in reverse. Usually that's about getting together or reconciling when it comes back together. I don't see that in the reverse though. I don't see them being able to bring their relationship back together. I don't see him as wanting that, to be honest with you. Because again, he's not susceptible to her wiles, if you will. You know what I mean? I feel like he's more clear in his thinking. He's more clear in his thought process. Now, she makes him doubt himself, and that makes him feel this loss of control, and that makes him behave childishly and kind of causes a regression. And like I said, I think that regression plays out as him being kind of abandoning towards his children. Now, the other thing is interesting is that Derrick Jaxn is emotionally invested into his children, but his energy is off with them right now. His energy is off with the kids right now, but he hasn't gone anywhere. What it is that he's trying to protect his money, he's trying to protect his mind, and he's trying to protect his peace. And they are tied to the mother who's behaving unfairly towards him or utilizing them towards him in some type of way. And it's causing him to be estranged from them. Or he could be pulling like a reverse psychology. You know, like for some men, when the woman tries to use the kids against them, they say, okay, fuck it, you can have it, because they refuse to be controlled in that way. So he could be doing something like that. But his kids are totally innocent. They're sweet children too. They're loving children. They're hopeful children. They're magical children, and he loves them. He's not detached from them at all, but he's protecting himself, his money, and his peace against them. And that's not even something that he probably normally does, but it's definitely where he is now because he feels like there's a situation that's unfair. You know what I mean? He also feels like Danae is a narcissistic mother to them. He thinks that she's verbally abusive to his children and that she treats them unfairly and that she's bitter. Now, my question is, why you don't take the kids with you then? You know what I mean? Why do people leave the kids behind when they trying to escape a situation? I don't understand that. But she has the control. She has the control as far as the kids are concerned and her motherhood is concerned. But she's two different type of mothers. She's nurturing. She handles her business. You know what I mean? She shows love, but she's a mean mother. She's a mean mother, and she's, I don't know, she's like verbally tears them down or something, or I don't know, she has some type of bitterness towards something, you know, like could be a little young little girl. She's a narcissistic mother towards that child, you know what I mean? But Derrick is prioritizing his peace and his money over that situation, which is not going to work in the long run. It's not. I think the cycle with them is complete. I have the World card and the Magician. Derrick is saying no. If it comes in his manifestation in his mind, he wants to keep this chapter closed. But Danae is making it almost impossible for him to maintain his strength up. She wants to emotionally break his ass down, but I think it's because she wants him back. But with that Judgment coming in reverse, I feel like it's almost like a karmic lesson for her in a way, that her toxic ways are not going to bring him back into her submission, and her utilizing the kids or mistreating the kids, all of that is pushing her further away from what it is that she thinks she wants, which is a shot to emotionally destruct and control him again. That's what's really going on. And like I said, he's leaning into it. He's severing his relationship with his kids. He's not being as available as he could have been, should have been. He's not being a good father in this moment. He's sinking into that immaturity. He's seeking into that control. But in this case, his control is a defense. Neither one of them are being good parents right now. I got the Emperor and the Empress in reverse. Neither one of them are being good parents right now. Somebody needs to take control of the situation. Somebody's dad or maybe one of the grandfathers is close to the kids or spending time with the kids. Maybe there's some other male figures that are balancing the kids out, because leaving it up to these two nutcases, I don't know what to tell you. That's my reading on Danae and Derrick Jaxn. It's a hot ass mess. I don't know which way she gonna go with this, but she might just have to accept that she needs some new game plan, because I don't know, the older her may be tried and true, but right now it looks like he's holding strong, and he's healing. So I don't know if he's gonna be susceptible to her toxicity anymore. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. That was a little thick. But I'll see you guys on the next one.